Good afternoon, dear children. So here I am again back with the poem here in the bazaars of Hyderabad. So this poem has been written by Sarojini Naidu. I had given an introduction of who Sarojini Naidu was. So she was a great freedom fighter. She was also known as the Nightingale of India because of her literary work, the work that she has written, the poems, especially she has written beautiful poems, and so because of that she is also known as the Nightingale of India. And she was a very important or integral person for the freedom struggle, and she was very close to Mahatma Ji. And here she was also one of the members of the Constituent Assembly while they were drafting the constitution. So in our previous chapter we had read about the Constituent Assembly, how they drafted the constitution, the preamble, so everything we have studied. So she was also one of the members to that Constituent Assembly. And she was right from her childhood, she was very much interested in what she was reading, and she was very good and talented in those literary works. And so she was, for this she was awarded by the Nizam of Hyderabad, and then she was sent to London to have her further education. So by this we understand, since so many years ago it happened, but still we understand that she was truly a literary lover, isn't it? So now here we will be reading one of her poems, so that is in the bazaars of Hyderabad. Now why she has picked up Hyderabad? It must be very obvious that she was staying in Hyderabad, so she picked up the bazaar of Hyderabad. And bazaar is a typical Indian word, I had told you, and that she was, that is also known as market, okay? In English we call it market. And she has seen the type of things being sold there, and because of the Swadeshi movement, she had written this poem, so to tell the people that we should purchase our own products. Whatever is being produced in our own country, that is what we are supposed to purchase, not the things which are coming from the foreign land. Okay, so she wanted the people of India, the citizens of India, to be self-dependent, and they should use the things what is there in our own country, because we have ample number of things, we have variety of things which we can use for our daily life. So in the bazaar she is here, it's right from this first stanza we see the questions that she has put to the merchants, and the merchants reply to her questions. Okay, in the first stanza we see that, what do you sell, O ye merchants? Richly your wares are displayed. So everything is shown over here in the bazaars, and we can go and purchase whatever we require. Okay. Then turbans of crimson and silver. So turbans which we wear on our head, and especially you must have seen nowadays even during marriages the Indians wear turbans. So that's a great occasion that they are celebrating, and turbans is of great respect. Then tunics of purple brocade. Brocade is precious texture, the cloth material is very beautiful, it's precious, and so that was made of, the tunics were made of that with the purple color. Then mirrors with panels of amber, so the mirrors had the frame of amber. Then daggers with handles of jade. So that was the first stanza. Okay. Then what do you weigh, O ye vendors? So vendors here, those who are selling the goods over there. Saffron and lentil and rice, those are the things which are sold here. The rice, the pulses, the saffron, everything is sold over here. Then what do you grind, O ye maidens? Maidens are the young girls, the unmarried girls. They are sitting there and grinding there. Grinding is, in Hindi we say kutna. So what are they grinding? They are grinding sandalwood, which gives nice smell, which is used for the ritual ceremony, okay, for God. So then, and it is also used for nowadays for various other, even for your face pack and all, we all use it. Then henna, which is used in the, we all apply in the palm to color our palm, it looks good. And even for our hair also we use henna. Then the spice is the masala that we are talking about, that also we all grind and give it to our flavor to our food. Then what do you call OA peddlers? So the peddlers are those small sellers who all move from one place to another and on their cycles, small vehicles. So those are known as the peddlers, and they are selling from, moving from here and there. And they even carry on their back also, you must have observed that. So they are selling. And what are they selling? She's asking them. They are selling the chessmen and ivory dice. So ivory is the tusk of the elephant, that's quite costly. So these things, the dice is the goti which you say for playing ludo, chess, so you need that. So that is made of ivory. Then third stanza, what do you make, O ye goldsmiths? So she's asking now the goldsmiths what they are making. Wristlet and anklets and rings. Wristlets I had told you, which you wear in the wrist, okay. Then anklets which you wear in the ankle, and rings, it can be earrings, it can be finger rings, it can be nose rings, so it can be a toe ring also. So these rings are also made near the goldsmith. Bells for the feet of blue pigeons, the special pigeons. So for them the bells are made, and these bells are very light, like the feathers of the dragonfly. So that is what she is saying. Frail means very thin and light. Then girdles of gold for dancers. Girdles are the bells which are worn here in our waist. The dancers wear, the Bharatanatyam dancer you have seen, Kuchipudi dancer you have seen, Odissi dancer, they all may have wear it. But nowadays they don't exactly make the gold bells, but then golden color they give to it, and then they make those, and that looks really beautiful on the dancers. Then girdles of gold for dancers, scabbards of gold for king. Now scabbards are the sheep covers for their sword, and so which the kings always keep, and for that the cover is made of gold. So that only kings can only keep those covers because it's made of gold. Okay, now let me start with the next stanza. What do you cry, O ye fruitmen? Cry here means rona nahi hai. But what are you saying to sell? What product are you saying to sell your fruit? She's asking the fruit men. Citron, pomegranate and plum. So these are the various fruits. So here citron is the big lemon, that is bigger size. Then pomegranate, here and all, and plums. These are being sold in the market. So variety of fruits are actually there. Here a few have been named. What do you play, O musicians? So musicians are also playing there in the bazaar to actually entertain the people. And so when the people are entertained, they give a penny or two there and then they move out. So here this is the source of income for those musicians also. So what do you play, O musicians? Sitar, sarangi and drum. Sitar is actually, the word sitar spelling is S-I-T-A-R. In earlier times here the poet has used this, so the meaning is the same. Okay, and drum. So these are the instruments which are being played by the musicians there. And so here the poet asks the musicians that what instruments are you playing? And so sitar is the original spelling is S-I-T-A-R. So that is, here the poet has used it in her poem, the spelling which was used earlier, and so she has used it. Otherwise the meaning is the same. Sarangi is also an Indian instrument. Then drum also, you have the drums. So that the musicians say that they have these instruments they are playing. What do you chant, O magicians? Spells for aeons to come. So here she is asking the magicians that what are you chanting? Chanting है जो मंत्र बोलते हैं ना. So that what are you chanting? So they are saying the spells for aeons to come. So that means we are chanting those spells so that the divine power comes over here and helps us to perform our act. So that is what the magicians are saying, that they need the help of the divine power. Divine power means the help of God here or some other power what they require, and so the divine power is going to help them. Okay, now the last stanza. What do you weave, O ye flower girls, with tassels of azure and red? So now she's asking those flower girls, those girls, young girls, they have brought the fresh flowers, the beautiful flowers, and they will make garlands, wear it on the, we all wear it on our head. All the ladies, the young girls, the big girls, all wear it on their head and they look pretty. So here the poet has found those girls sitting with those flowers, they are selling those flowers, and so she is asking them, what do you weave? Weave मतलब बुनना, एक के बाद एक फूल पिरो करके हम लोग garland बनाते हैं. So that she is asking, with tassels of azure and red. So azure is a deep blue color, isn't it? So now she is asking, tassels means full strands of that they will be making and they will hang it. And then we all move, when we see that, we all purchase according to how much length of tassel I require of this flower. And so the poet is asking that what tassels have you made, those strands of flowers that you have made, which color? So they are of deep blue, red. Then crowns for the brow of a bridegroom. So bridegroom is the male, masculine gender, and bride is the feminine gender, isn't it? So now the bridegroom now going to get married, so he also is adorned with the flowers, and so the poet is asking, saying that what are these you are making for? Then the flower girls are saying that we are making tassels, we are making also the crowns for the brow of the bridegroom. Is still here they are cover it, and those the flower tassels are there hanging, so that they are saying the brow, till from the brow they all start hanging. So the girls are saying that crowns for the brow of a bridegroom, chaplets to garland his bed. So the bride and the bridegroom, so they all decorate the bed that they are going to sit, and so that has to be decorated beautifully with flowers. So in earlier times it was decorated with flowers only. So the chaplets to garland his bed, so that too, that is a happy moment. Okay, here the flowers are used. Now you see the next two lines, sheets of white blossoms new garnered. So now they are using only the white flowers, okay, white blossoms they are using, and that is to new garnered. So it is being decorated. Now what is being decorated? Garnered here means being decorated here beautifully. To perfume the sleep of the dead. Yes, even the dead beds, those are decorated with flowers. So there we normally use the white flowers. So the death bed is also here decorated. For them also, those flower girls are weaving those flowers, strands, they are making tassels, they are making, so that the death bed is also decorated with beautiful white color flowers. So sheets of white blossoms new garnered to perfume the sleep of the dead. So the person who is dead, so when he is going from this earth, the journey to heaven, so that also is on a flower bed only they are going. So here the poet has given us a perfect idea of what things can be purchased from the bazaars. So from the bazaars when we buy, we get everything and we come in direct contact with the farmers, those who are making those who are growing crops. So here then there we can buy and sell, even people sell, the sellers also go and sell there. So here it is very convenient for us to go and purchase from there. So the poet is advising us that we should go to the bazaars and then we should purchase our goods from there. Okay. Now here the poetic device that is over here, now you see the the rhythm in which it goes. You see the first line, the rhyming words you see here. What do you sell, O ye merchants? Okay, so that you mark it as A, the rhyming scheme that is going. The second line is richly your ways are displayed, and then you see the fourth line is matching with it, tunics of purple brocade. So displayed, brocade and jade. So those are B. Okay. Then the third line you see silver and it's matching with amber, that is C. So the rhyming scheme A, B, C, B, C, B. So it is going in every stanza like that. Then comes D for the second stanza as D. Then E, F, E, F, E. Okay, you see only the last words. So that is your rhyming scheme. Then come to the next stanza. You have your G, then H, I, H, I, H. Okay. Then J, that is the fourth stanza. J, K, L, K, L, K. Then the last stanza. M, N, O, N, O, N. Okay. So this is the rhyming scheme of this poem. And I hope that children, you all have read the poem and even listened to the video. Hope that you have understood. So I want you all to still go through the poem from your book and listen to this video and try to understand. Okay. Thank you and have a good day.